Hey guys, welcome to our Get Grounded little yoga practice here today. So jump on your mat, find yourself in a seated position, and let's start with our eyes closed. So inhale, close off those eyes, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, drop the shoulders down, soften them away from the ears. Finding a few long breaths here. Let go of any tension from your day, any stresses, worries, whatever it may be. Leaving that behind. Let's take one more breath here. Let that breath go however you like. Gently opening the eyes, hopefully feeling a little calmer. We're going to meet in tabletop now, so jump on over, starting on all fours, meeting here. So what we're going to do is come into child's pose, bring the big toes to touch, bring the hips back onto the heels and reach those arms out nice and long. If you need to widen the knees a little bit, go for it. We do need to rest the forehead down onto the mat here, so if you can't reach, bend through the elbows. Maybe stack your hands into fists. So do rest your head though. We really want to connect your third eye to the ground. Find your posture. Take a few breaths. Settle in. Keep the elbows lifted if you are in your extended reach. Alright, last breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. Good, inhale, rise on up to tabletop. I'm going to sweep it up to downward facing dog, so untuck your toes, actually rather tuck your toes. Exhale, lead the hips up nice and high, bending through the knees, dropping through the chest a bit, but not too much. So keep your core engaged, your back flat. If you're known to have a rounded back though, I do encourage you to drop it down. Let's pedal out the legs a couple of times, bring some movement and length into the hamstrings. Make sure that your fingers are spread out wide here and you've got a good grip through the hands. Alright, we're going to come into Pigeon Pose. So from here, inhale, rise onto both tippy toes. Exhale, the heels back down. Inhale, look towards your hands. So we're going to bring your right knee up. Bring the foot across and ground your right knee somewhere near that right wrist. Drop the left knee down then. Inch your hips down, using that left foot to help you shimmy down and untuck the toes. So the hands are grounded here right now. Inhale, lift through the chest. If you want to come into spider fingers, you can. Finding length through the crown chakra. Grounding through the hips. Finding some stretch happening through that right glute area. Whenever I say glute, I'm referencing to your butt cheeks. So your right side right now. Maybe through the hamstrings as well. And even your left hip flexor in front of the left hip. Alright, let's drop down onto the elbows for a few breaths if that feels comfortable for you. Remember, if something doesn't ever feel comfortable or if it feels painful more so, I'd love you to ease out of the pose and just rest in anything that feels great for you. Generally, child's pose is a great one. Long spine, core engaged, shoulders are lifting, pushing the elbows into the mat. Alright, we're going to move on already. Tuck the toes under your left foot. Lift up onto the hands again. Shorten your step a bit, so use that left foot to shimmy away in a little bit. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. So feet about hip width apart here. Hopefully your hands are already in the right position there. Then we're going to come to the other side. So inhale, hover into a bit of a plank. Bring your left knee in and foot across the mat. Ground the knee near the left wrist and drop your right knee down. So shimmy those hips lower. Get the hips nice and comfortable. We want to be square here, so don't let your hips go rolling off to the side at any time. Keep it all square. Untuck your right toes perhaps, lifting through the chest, maybe coming onto your spider fingers if you wish, or staying on the palms, whatever feels good for you. If you ever want to deepen this pose, you can actually wriggle that left foot a little higher. You can manually move it, but try and avoid that because we want to use our own muscles and flexibility to get us there. All right. Really notice that left hip, maybe the right hip. I like to do a little wriggle around, get those hips really comfortable. To be honest, they're not comfortable. It's always slightly uncomfortable, but you get the drift. All right, come down onto the elbows if you'd like to. Keeping the arms pressing into the mat. So basically what that means is not letting the shoulders droop down here. Keep it active. Whatever feels good here. Any neck rolls, chin tucks and lifts. Have a little play around. It doesn't have to be such a rigid practice. Have a little fun with it. All right, let's lift back up onto those hands. This time we're going to come back to tabletop. So make your way back there. And from here, bring your toes towards the back edge of your mat. So do a little reverse walk. And then from here, widen the knees, make sure they're hip width apart, and reach the arms out just a little bit further in front. So sort of start off with, we don't want to reach too far in front. What we want to do is drop the chest down, and you're halfway between child's pose and puppy pose. So if you can rest your forehead down now, I'd love you to. If you can't, not to worry, but that is our goal over time. If you want to come into it deeper, slide your hands a little further in front of you towards the top of your mat and allow the chest to really drop down. We need to keep the elbows lifted here so we're not collapsing onto the elbows. Keep the arms active. If you're super flexible, you may be able to rest your chin. Your chest might be close to the ground, but not overdoing it. One more breath here. All right, use your core, lift back up into our tabletop. And we're going to come down into Cobra. So come right down onto your belly, however you like, really. So with the hands, we want them right next to the rib cage. So not necessarily near the chest, they can start there, but over time we want to bring them further back. So untuck your toes, tuck your elbows in, drop the shoulders down, and you're looking straight down towards your mat right now. We want to squeeze the glutes, push the hips into the mat, inhale, push into the hands as well, lifting your chest up off of the mat here. Hold and breathe there. If you prefer, you can exhale down and inhale, rise back up. So option to hold or move with your breath here. Keep the shoulders down, glutes active. One more breath, whether you're flowing or holding. And exhale, everyone release back down. Lovely, let's push back up into tabletop. From here, we're going to do a wide child's pose. So bring the big toes to touch, sit the hips back onto the heels, if you can, and widen the knees as wide as you want to go. So width of the mat or wider. All right, walk those hands out. Option 1, widen the elbows, stack your fists and rest the head. Option 2, reach the arms out wide, shoulder width apart, rest your forehead to the mat. Choosing your options, listening to your intuition and what you need. Keeping those hips really trying to ground towards the heels here. This should be a great inner thigh stretch. Finding length through each vertebrae. Keeping the arms active if you can. If you're exhausted today, there's nothing wrong with dropping your elbows in this child's pose. Okay, push into those hands, walk your hands back towards you. Bring those knees gently back closer together. Alright, we're going to come into a seated pose from here. So sit somewhere in the middle of your mat or thereabouts. Stretch the legs out long and straight. So we're going to start off with the right leg. We're going to bring it in, the right knee, and then cross it over your left leg. So from here, you're going to hold your left hand, elbow or arm onto that knee with your right hand coming around behind you. So core strength here. We're not rounding and sinking into that pose. Sit up tall, drawing up through the crown chakra, holding onto that knee, and we're actually pulling that knee in towards us to get a nice little glute maximus stretch here. So I tend to go on my right fingertips. I encourage all my yogis to do that too, because it helps you get that little extra elevation. If you ground through your hand, you'll see you sink into it a little bit more. So find that beautiful posture. Turn your gaze over to that right shoulder as much as you can. Breathing through it. Noticing how it feels. All right, inhale back to face the front. Unthreading your legs, but bend both knees here. So feet can be together or hip width apart or somewhere in between. We want to really sit on the tailbone here. So notice that you're already starting to lean forwards towards the thighs rather than rounding through the back. I'm really encouraging you to get grounded through the tailbone, your root chakra here. With the hands then, take a big wide reach. Inhale them up. And exhale, fold forwards, reaching for the ankles or the feet. Elbows can come to the outside of your knees if you've got that space there. Lengthening through the spine, sit up a little taller. And then once you get that length, exhale, fold down, tuck the chin. Let yourself round down into that pose. If you want to, you can straighten your legs a little bit more. I just need to create a bit of space in my belly. I am pregnant, guys, so this pose technically isn't for pregnant people, but my next ones will be. So keep that in mind. Anyone can do this one, except if you're pregnant. Alrighty. Inhale, rise back up nice and tall. I know that was very ironic of me. So we're going to straighten out your right leg, bring your left leg in and cross it over that right leg. So your right hand, elbow, whatever it is, hold onto that left knee. Open your left hand back behind you, just your spider fingers if you can. Inhale that tall spine. Exhale, looking over to that left shoulder. Breathe through it. The reason I say it's not pregnant friendly is because from pretty much straight away, or at least your second trimester, you want to start doing open twists. So I will let you guys know that when we come into some of our next flows. All right, let's inhale back to face the front. This time, bending the knees again, but a little less. So if you want to have straight legs, you're feeling really flexible, by all means, come into straight legs. Otherwise, have a little bend in them. So again, feet hip width apart or together, whatever feels comfortable for you. Start to tilt the pelvis forwards. Inhale, sit up tall. Take a big wide reach if you like. Otherwise, exhale, folding down, reaching for the ankles or the feet, whatever feels good. Tucking the chin once you get there, round through the body. Really nice stretch through the back side of the body. Notice any tightnesses, breathe them away. Inhale, rise on up back to our tall seated position. This time bring your hands under the knees, under the thighs there. Walk your feet back towards you to sit up tall. And we're going to take a little lean back without caving through the back once again. So sit up tall. Option 1, keep the feet grounded here and just lean back where you are. So feet, soles of the feet grounded. If you want to up the ante, inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, ground it back. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, ground it back. If you want to take it further once again, inhale, lift one leg. Find your balance and then maybe lift your other leg as well. So we're trying to get the legs parallel to the ground. So straight across there. If they're a little lower, that's okay. Just do your best. Now I know I've started to round through the back, so inhale, sit up taller. Drop the shoulders down, long flat back. You're holding onto your legs as much as you need to, or as little. One more breath. All right, control it and find your balance back with the feet to the mat. Let's straighten out those legs then. Bring the arms out long. And we're going to shimmy our hips forward so that the ankles are just off the edge of your mat. So you're already there, lucky you. This is a great way, without using your hands, by the way, to loosen your lower back here. So arms are reaching out long, tall posture, flex the feet. And let's exhale, lower down. If this doesn't serve your back well, come down however you like. Once you get there, tuck the shoulder blades behind you, widen your feet to about the width of the mat. Let your hips really just tuck under you comfortably. Option to bring your hands out wide, just about 45 degrees out to the side is ideal. Or maybe to your chest or belly. So take your option there. Let the feet relax. So roll them around a little bit. Allow them to soften, get comfortable. And taking a few moments here of silence, letting go of today, and just focusing on this present moment right now. Notice how you're feeling in this very moment. Relax the jaw and the eyebrows. Relax your belly, your arms and your legs. Taking a big breath in through the nose, side out. Start to wriggle your fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Bring the feet closer together. And we're going to take a big reach overhead. Inhale, reach those arms up. Feel free to interlace the hands, do whatever you want to do. Start to brace every muscle. Bring the hands back, Slide the feet towards the hips and hug those knees into the chest. Rock it around if that feels nice. And gently roll over onto your right hand side. Now, fetal position. So lay there a couple of moments. Don't rush this lovely process. And let's rise up to a seated position. Alrighty. So from this seated position, let's bring our hands to prayer pose at the heart center. Close off your eyes. I'd love you to take a moment of gratitude for something that's happened or going to happen today. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you feel wonderful and blissful. Namaste.